I've been reading. I'm a Jesus girl. Hey, Jesus girl.
Good morning to you. I hope thus far your day has been flipping along fantabulously. Your week actually has been rocking this entire planet up into this point. It is hump day. So I hope you're getting out here and not letting anybody kill your vibe or steal your joy, because we understand nobody gets to do that. Our reactions, responses, and attitudes in everything and everywhere we gotta go, whoever we gotta be with, is on us. And to help us out, if it's not going so well, we flip through the Rolodexes of our mind, grabbing a hold of those things to be grateful and thankful for, because gratitude shifts our mood. I'm just saying, y'all, get out here and have a good one. Okay. Want to talk a little bit about triggers. Now, it's so popular, it's so culturally in the know to know your triggers, which is absolutely true. No diss to that. I believe the more you know, the more you grow. You got to know your stuff. You got to know your triggers. I am not talking about the actual triggers. What I am going to talk about is there is another part to knowing your triggers that I think we are not dealing with and handling, which is why it seems like if you get triggered, the thing to do is just to cancel the person, get away from them. They're too toxic and all that. I am not saying that there are not instances when you do have to do that, but I'm talking about in relationships, in where we have to be in our day-to-day life, relational part of lives. Triggers actually need to be taken responsibility for from us, not so much the person that is triggering us. If you are in relationship and you know your triggers, and most of our triggers are from traumas that psychologically is defined as a event, a sound, a smell, or whatever that triggers a feeling, taking you back to the trauma. It takes you back to whatever it is that traumatized you. Here's the thing. As we are relating to each other, guys, nobody knows our triggers. We have to help educate people about us. And so there's this fear like, no, I'm going to shy away from you. I'm going to forego this relationship, this connection, this tie, because you trigger me or that triggered me. That's going to limit our life, guys, first of all. And second of all, that's giving the trigger the control over us. That's giving the trauma, control over us. We've got to start reworking how we work and deal with our triggers, because as I'm dealing with you and you're triggering me, the most healthy thing that I can do is become vulnerable to you, because remember, this is for places and people you have to be with. I don't want to cut off the relationship. I just want to control and cut the trigger, the feeling, the emotion of what that thing is. So if I bring light to the thing, I get to give you knowledge. The more you know, the more you grow, and our relationship will grow. This, what you said, how you said it, triggers me. You have to understand, when you do this, it does this to me. That is how we bring people in, and that is how we take control of triggers. Now, there are going to be some people who will try to take advantage of your triggers. Those people, you do distance yourself. You do have minimal contact with. But the ones that hear you and they'll be like, oh, my bad, I didn't know. The problem is people don't know our triggers, and we get so mad at people, and we are low-key just disappointed, and we're low-key blaming them for the trigger. The trigger was there before you were, boo-boo. A trigger is something that's reminding me of some trauma that happened to me. It's not on them. And I think if we start opening up, if we start explaining, hey, giving people a chance to, hey, this thing triggers me. Let me talk to you. Let me explain to you why this. And it's why we can't have intimate relationships. It's why we don't have conflict resolution. It's why we're so isolated. It's why we don't have healthy, thriving friendships and relationships. Because everybody has suffered some sort of trauma. And the key is not to allow the trauma to still keep re-traumatizing you, which is what a trigger is. It reminds you of the trauma. You don't have to let that stunt and stifle you from loving, from trusting, from working through things. You'll be amazed with the different kind of abuses that go on, or the different kind of disappointments or relationships with mother and child. How just the sound of a voice, just a tone of something can trigger and take me back to the event. But what you want to do is bring people in, and that minimizes the trigger. We're doing it backwards. We're just trying to stop the trigger. Don't do it. No. Bring the people that you trust and you love into it. And so you're not facing the trigger. You're not going back and facing that trauma alone. And I'm telling you, healing starts really coming, and you get more and more strong because you have more and more support and help. Getting like safety words like, yo, when this happens, I feel this. There's nothing like somebody said, don't even trip, boo-boo. I got you. I got your hand. Or talking you down off the ledge. That's what we do when we become vulnerable and open with the things that are going on inside of us, instead of hiding them and putting on this farce of being strong. And so I'm just going to cut you off so I don't experience the pain. If you don't deal with it, you're going to keep going from person to person because nobody knows your trigger. Remember? So being open and honest, accepting the fact that perhaps it is me, it's not them, giving people the benefit of the doubt of them not trying to hurt and trigger me, because a lot of times, guys, it really is, they just don't know. And so please, as we go forward, I think about this week and what it means and what it symbolizes and what it assures for us. I just think we need to cut out anything that's limiting us from any type of freedom of any kind. And not being emotionally free is just as impactful and just as damaging as being physically not free. And so, please, start opening up. Start taking control of these things which has been taking control of us. Start allowing the help. Start allowing the light to shine in your darkest moments. And that is how we heal and take control. I'm not saying running around here telling everybody your business. But I am saying those people that you have to be in any type of relational connection with, you need to give them the opportunity to understand you. And what triggers you is not going to trigger me. So I can't think I know how to deal with your trigger. I need the information from you. I need you to tell me, hey, Champagne, when you do this, this memory comes up or this feeling comes up. And if I care and if I'm supposed to be there, then I am going to course correct and be like, my bad. I will work on that. I will try not to do that, and understand you got somebody that's on your side because I got triggers too. Let's walk this thing out together. And as we do that, guys, I promise our relationships are going to get healthier. There will be less tension. There will be less silent dialogues we're having about people, silent conversations we're having with people, coming to conclusions that are not even true. Triggers make your mind, your vision get cloudy. But if we clear the lens, if we clear the air, we clear the lens to see correctly, and then we can act accordingly. So triggers, man, yeah, there is trauma that people trigger, but there is control that we can take over those triggers as we allow people to know us. You're great. You're a great person. Allow somebody in. Let them see you. Let them know you. You won't be surprised of how relationships will be enriched. Bonds will be closer, not the opposite. Most people are not out here running around trying to hurt you, trying to use your weaknesses against you. There are some. And for those, you just chuck the deuces, kick rocks, peace. But most will be like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. How can I help? What can I do? So it's now time for Ask Pastor Pay. I have my first text. So a person texts their questions. Remember, you can always DM me. You can leave a question in the comments. You can call or text me, and you will be a guest on the show. I love you guys. Have a wonderful week. I'm your biggest fan. Do what you do, boo-boo. My question is, how do you get out of toxic friendships or relationships or these stupid entanglements we got going on in 2021? Great question, Katrina. Her question, guys, is how do you get out of toxic friendships or relationships or these stupid entanglements we got going on in 2021? Okay. How do you get out of toxic friendships or relationships or these stupid entanglements we got going on in 2021? Well, as Champagne takes a sip of coffee, first thing I will say, and I have a lot to say about this, is we're going to change the mindset, the verbiage of how we talk about this mindset, because we're not going to be entangled in 2021. First of all, let's just get that out the way. Okay, the mindset is we're not going to be entangled in 2021. That's foolishness. We left in 2020. It does not get to ride with us in 2021. And we're not going to be entangled because we're going to do the work to extract ourselves from the tanglement. And so the answer is actually not probably what you are going to expect, because generally we focus on the toxic person, the toxic friend, the toxic boo, wife, husband, family member, the toxic connection. But we have to get clarity, and we have to understand this. Now, this is not, it's going to sound like, Champagne, you're tripping, but I promise you, I am not. It is not actually the toxic person that is the issue. Their toxicity is a direct correlation of things in their life. The toxic ties that we have with people actually is our bag. We use people in our dramas. What I mean by that is the toxicity we are attracted to comes from a need that it feels that comes from within us. I allow your toxicity to be in my world. You actually, toxic person, are not the star, are not the main character in my drama. You're simply an actor playing a part in my drama that is going on within me. Yes, boo-boo, it is within us. What we have to start doing is finding out what is it that is inside me that is attracted to this type of person, this type of behavior, this type of thing, this type of tie. What is it in me that is allowing this in my world? Toxicity seems to be bred by the toxic the person that's bringing the toxicity. No. It is actually agitating and connecting and bringing out the toxicity that's in me already. If this toxic person was gone, trust me, it would be replaced with another actor with that same type of toxicity, different face, even different location, even different situation, same toxicity, because that is something that is within me. What we have to start doing is allowing ourselves to do the work. And this is where God is has been so helpful to me, because it wasn't until I found out what was the toxicity that was in Champagne that connected with the toxicity that was in Tom, Dick, or Harry, or Sally Sue, that allowed it for me to be okay. It was feeding a need. Once I found out what that was, then God always will show you the exit. Allow God to show you the exit. But what I had to do first is like, hey, something has got to be going on. Yeah, they jacked up and that's messed up and that's toxic. But what is it, Lord, in me that is allowing this person in my life, that is allowing this person to dictate to me what I will do, where I will go, what I will wear, how I will think? What is it in me? Why am I so willing to give up my free will, my good common sense, my brain to this person? The toxic person is not even asking for it. We're giving them this control over our lives. We're allowing them to be the conductor, the director of our life, the engineer. And that's a lie straight from the pits of hell. Because what I know for sure, we all have free will, and I can only do what I allow myself to do, what I choose to do. And so we are choosing this toxicity. Find out why. And in the meanwhile, just know that if you ask for God, I was a praying fool, a sister, because I wanted to know what the heck is going on. And it come to find out, it was issues that were down within me that toxic person fed. I literally was using that person, that thing, that connection as a actor in my own drama. And so, guys, we really first have to look within. Now, I'm not excusing, the toxic person, but they need to do the same work that you have to do to get clarity about your own toxicity. But that's not your bag, because once you understand your own, do the work through it, get rid of it, you will no longer be connected and tied to them. They will no longer even be attracted to you. Do you understand that? They won't even be attracted to you anymore. We are connected. We are tied by toxicity. Once the toxicity is gone from one or the other, the connection is broke, because toxicity cannot stand in healthiness. Toxicity cannot thrive in wholeness. Toxicity cannot take control of a whole, healthy, emotional, mature person. It just can't. It can try, it can come up, and we have to deal with it, because people are not going to do the work. People are quite comfortable in their own toxicity. People actually are comfortable in their dysfunction, and that is not our bag. But what we are to do is to get rid of ours, stand firm in our wholeness and healthiness and our identities, and we watch toxicity flee. I promise y'all, That is the remedy. We keep so focused on these toxic people. They are just a actor in the drama of your own toxicity. So, what do? How do we deal? We take control of ourselves, of our own stuff, and then we'll see clear, and then it'll be like kryptonite or raid to roaches to others' toxicity. Now, it will never be eradicated. It will never be gone. Because, like I said, people love their toxicity. I mean, that's their identity. Their identity is being a toxic, drama-filled person. But we don't have to allow them to be actors in the plays of our life. So, I hope that helped. I hope that you will start to less focus on the outside forces and situations and circumstances, and look at how this is affecting you and why it is coming to you. And in that way, that's how we do the work and heal and deal with whatever it is. I'm a firm believer. The more you know, the more you grow. I will never stop saying it because it is the truth. The more you know you, the more you're going to grow. And as you grow, you will watch stuff start falling off. Now, circle might get smaller. People might not want to be around you, but that's okay, because that's your healthiness and wholeness chasing them away. And that's what we want. And ask the Lord for the exit. Ask the Lord for the exit. He will show you clearly. It's all right if Tom and Joe leave you, if they get to acting so crazy you can't take it. Those things are the exit God is trying to give you to leave the situation. So look for the exits of God. Be aware and be blessed. See you guys next week. Praying for you. I'm your biggest fan.
Jesus girl.